We got a little Noah's Ark today. I just thought, well, all the things that are going on, so many people around me just feel really heavy. Like it feels heavy. Things feel heavy. And I thought, well, let's lighten it up with a little bit of people call it a kid's story, right? Noah's Ark. It's a kid's story. We think it's for kids. So I don't know that I remember ever hearing it taught up here, although Kathy might have done it before. It's metaphysical. And I thought, well, that sounds like fun. And I've been trying to figure out all the ways in my life I can add a little bit of fun, even when it feels really heavy. And I thought, well, let's add some animals and an ark and see what we can do with that today. So building your ark is where we're going today. And it seems to be almost inevitable that whenever I think of this, then, things just come to me, right? Kathy says it. I know a lot of other speakers say it. And I found a million ways that this worked for me this week. And one has been just some fun things that I found to do with this. And I just remembered, let's go to the first slide, see if I can read it. I might have to grab my phone really quick. Yeah, I forgot that I had this picture. I'm going to get my phone really fast because I couldn't read it. It was cute. So some lessons that we can learn from Noah's Ark. So the lesson today are, what lessons can we learn in heavy times, in times of a flood? So you might be flooded right now with news, world events, political stuff, weather stuff. So in a flood, things we can learn. This is kind of the cute traditional version. First of all, don't miss the boat. More on that to come. Remember that we are all in the same boat. So remember, if we're all in the same boat, having a little compassion for one another makes it a whole lot easier. Plan ahead. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. So a little pre-planning. Stay fit. When you're really old, someone might ask you to do something really big. Don't listen to the critics. Just get on with that job that needs to be done. Just like Noah, right? 6, build your future on high ground. Number 7, for safety's sake, travel in pairs. Number 8, speed isn't always an advantage. The snails were aboard with the cheetahs. Number 9, when you're stressed, float a while. That feels good, doesn't it? When you're stressed, just float a while. Number 10, remember the ark wasn't built by amateurs. The ark was built by amateurs, and the Titanic was built by professionals. That's something to think about, isn't it? And 11, no matter the storm, when you are with God, there's always a rainbow waiting. So just a little preview today. I found that. I thought it was so cute and fun that I decided to kind of structure today's talk just like a series of those lessons. So kind of getting back to that number 1, don't miss the boat. So first of all, think about the flood of just happened with the 4th of July. 4th of July was it was almost like a roller coaster celebration that's still happening, right? There's still things going on all through this weekend. We got the joy of last weekend. A lot of people were celebrating, and this weekend people are still celebrating. And along with it, a lot of people who I've been talking with have been reflecting upon freedom, what freedom means to them, and thinking about the state of affairs in the world today, whether it's news or whether it's world events. And then we have other things on top of this still, right? We still have jobs and families and things we need to get done in the day. And does it ever feel like an overwhelming flood to you? Are there moments when it gets to be too much? What does Noah and the ark have to teach us in times like this that we are supposed to do to feel better? Well, I will say that the story of Noah's ark is not just about escaping a flood. It's not a one and done checklist box of things to do. It is a roadmap for how we are to be in every day, whether we're in the middle of the flood or we're planning ahead and getting ready for it, to build our ark so that when the time comes, we have a safe space to process. We have calmness, we have clarity, and we have compassion that will not just take us through, but will transform us in the process. And I was really interested in this idea because I thought about this with money and prosperity. And for years and years of my prosperity journey, I always told myself my prosperity was paying off my debt. So guess what I got? A lot of opportunities to pay off debt. I would rack up a lot of debt. Things would happen. I'd pay it off and feel so good. I paid my car off. And guess what would happen? More debt, more payments, more things happening. And then I got a lot of opportunities to pay off debt until one day I figured, these events in life that happen, they're not just chances to prove that we can get through. But there are chances to prove that we can thrive, we can transform, and be better and more expansive and have more purpose than when we first started. And we don't always need to know the next best step. We can just kind of follow the simple directions for building the ark. It's kind of like in Field of Dreams when they say, build it, and he will come. If he builds it, they will come. If you build the ark, it's sure enough that some kind of flood is going to happen. But we're going to be ready for it. We're going to be thriving, and even more than thriving, we're going to be transforming. So that is a space that I choose to see for our world and for myself and for you. That's the space I'm holding for you right now in all of the flood, whether you're going through it or you're just preparing for it. So if we go to that first slide, I just want to talk about some of the general metaphors. On the next one, it's just like a picture of Noah's Ark. So what do these actually symbolize? Some very simple metaphysical symbols in Noah's Ark would be, Noah. And is Noah in that picture? I think, yeah, he is. Okay. So Noah would be our inner higher self. So if you call this the Christ self or our God nature or our Buddha nature or spirit in you, Noah stands for that in ourselves that can listen to inner guidance clearly, calmly, and confidently. It's creative and it's connected. So that is the Noah in the story. So your authentic self, you are Noah, but you are everything in the story. So the ark is the space we build through our practices, meditation, prayer, compassion, and it's also like it's a literal, what they call now a container. So building our ark is like building a container that we can be with strong emotions, negative thinking, and hard circumstances, that we can be with it, but not let it have us. We can process it and be with it compassionately instead of allowing it to destroy us, like what happens in the rest of the flood. And the animals are thoughts. Every animal is a thought. So the process of taking animals in 2 by 2 is ordering our thoughts. Because Noah is doing it, it is divinely ordering our thoughts. It's listening to a higher self, to something higher wisdom, to the God in us, to the God we connect with, to spirit and source. And it is divinely ordering the thoughts to line them up with God thought. So how is this going to help us? Before we slip into that, I want you to affirm that this can be true for you. That the idea that fear and negativity are not your truth, but this ark that is safety, that is creativity, that is courageous, that is connected is your truth. So I want you to repeat after me. Fear and negativity are not my truth. Fear. Turn to someone next to you and say, fear and negativity are not my truth. So this is our first step towards creating the ark. Creating our safe container is just knowing and affirming it. But just knowing it on the surface is not enough. We need to know it and feel it within our core. We need to not just know that it's safe. We need to feel that it's safe. Because I'm sure when you're watching the news out there, whatever you're doing, whatever that circumstance is, I bet that you know the truth. But in the moment, you can't feel it, yes? You know it, but you can't feel it. So let's go to build the ark. Let's go to that next slide. I love this. 2 unicorns. They're looking at Noah's Ark saying, oh man, was that today? So coming back to that first lesson, don't miss the boat. Now remember, the boat, the ark, is not our circumstances. The ark is not our circumstances. The ark is our consciousness. The ark is not circumstances. The ark is our thinking. It's our thinking and our feeling that we put out into the world. So if we don't have a strong ark to start with, if we are going to miss the boat, if we're thinking that it's not what's in here, we're thinking something out there needs to change to fix it so that I can feel okay. And it also is thinking something in here needs to be fixed. How many of you turn it into yourself and say, I just need to fix this thinking? If I could just fix this thinking, then everything would be okay. Instead of having a war outside of yourself, you're now having a war with inside yourself. And that is definitely not an ark of safety. That is definitely not an ark of calm. So just remember that when you're in overwhelm, it's not out there. It's in here, and we're creating this space. So the first thing we're going to do is create that calm space. If you want to go to the next one, I tried to make these fun. This is a real news story that happened in Tennessee. Noah's Ark is the last item standing in the church. The nursery at Waverly Church of the Nazarene was ruined by a flood, and the only thing that survived was from the children's nursery. It was the Noah's Ark. So in this lesson, the lesson is the waters will rise, but so will you. The waters will rise, but so will you. So we're going to stay centered when the waters rise, so the ark floats. So as long as we're staying centered in our truth, just like Noah did, the ark will rise with the flood. So the idea is to make time within your day, even if it's 5 minutes in the morning, when you're in the bathroom, 5 minutes while you're drinking your coffee, 5 minutes while you are waiting on the coffee to brew or the teapot to boil, or you're waiting on something, to take a few minutes of mindfulness for calm, and then take at least another 5 minutes at the end of the day when you're getting ready for bed. And if you have a whole practice, that is awesome. And some of us don't. Some of us want to, and then we should on ourselves, like, I should be meditating more, I should be praying more. Man, I could just start by adding in 5 minutes that some part of yourself can make a commitment to and can keep that commitment. Because what you're going to be doing is building a relationship within yourself to honor that time. Take a few minutes to say, can I give whatever is in me just some silence, just for 5 minutes? Even if you're doing dishes, like me, I don't have a dishwasher. You're doing laundry, folding clothes. And instead of thinking about all of the other things while you're doing that, because you know you do, right? When you're doing some type of really low-level task, it doesn't take a lot of mental, and you're thinking about a million other things. Instead, think about just what's in front of you. Think about how this sock matches this sock. Feel what it feels like to roll the sock. When you're washing a dish, what the water feels like on your hands. Be really present and calm in the moment. Little moments of calm over a long period of time help build the ark. And it will keep those waters, when they're rising, it will keep us afloat, and it will keep all of that chaos. The waters, by the way, metaphysically, is kind of crazy because it means chaos in a way, but it also means unlimited possibility. So the waters themselves are all infinite possibility. And think about how confusing it is to have every single option open to you. When we can go in and divinely order which ones are right for me, we feel calmer and more secure. So anytime we can get a little bit more calm into our day, that is a good thing to do. Next, we're going to create a space for clarity. And this is really where my focus is with my practice lately. If we can go to the next slide. Noah's our complaints department, and it shows Noah at the complaints window and an anteater there, and it says, "You only brought 2 ants?" Have you ever thought about that before? Creating space for clarity. Don't listen to the critics. Build it anyway. You've got divine blueprints. So in my day, I'll start with the news, and I choose to vision love every time I see the news. Every time I see it, I'm trying not to see it as much. And I was talking before the service today that I don't necessarily turn it on purpose, but my husband is retired and he does a lot of news now. So if I'm in the room with him or he's going to talk about it or I'm going to walk past it, I'm going to have news. I pick up my phone. You almost can't get away from it because it comes up. It just pops up. So we're going to see it even when we try to avoid it. And I'm trying to take every single opportunity I can to see love in that situation, despite the critics, which could be everyone telling me that, like, what's going to happen with the world. It's just, where is it going? And we're all going to die. Like, I feel like they might as well just be saying we're all going to die. And I'm going to take a chance to see love in this situation. I'm not going to listen to the critics. But I know I say that. I know that other people said that. But the hardest critics to avoid are these. The hardest critics to avoid is that tug of war that we have inside with the critics that say, but practically there is a problem. Practically, there is something I need to prepare for, or there is something to do. And I'm not saying to deny those facts. I'm saying if we want to let them not to have power over us, at some point we need to put the rope down. It's a tug of war. No one's going to win. It's a tug of war that either the strong wins and the others are resentful and hurt because we're talking about our feelings and emotions. Or it's one that will never win and will drive us to anxiety. This is what happens for me. It drives me to extreme anxiety. And instead, that ark that we build has to be big enough to entertain all thoughts, including the ones that would criticize. So I include the criticizing part of me, that's shitting on me, that's shaming me and blaming me, not out of that I'm doing some type of self-deprecation, but that is part of me that has an injury, that's why it feels that way. I'm going to say that if that thought comes up to me, there's something inside of me that's hurting. Otherwise, it wouldn't be criticizing. Think about other people in your lives that criticize. Think about why they criticize. Are they criticizing just to be mean, or are they criticizing because they're hurt somewhere? Hurt people hurt people. And guess what? Sometimes that hurt person is you, hurting yourself. So giving a little space to take a breath and then be with it, like meditation today, were you able to do that at all? Were you able to get just a little space where you could see that part as a small child and let it sit with you? Because some of these criticizing parts that are shitting on you have never seen any love at all. They're the parts that have been beaten down. They're the parts that were neglected as children, that were told you don't have a voice. What you think doesn't matter. We're going with this. I can't listen to that. I don't have room for you. You are too much for me. I got that one from my parents a lot. And they come back up around the silliest things sometimes. And they're coming up over these things that are happening with us right now. So do I have the space in my ark? Can I start building it? If I don't, and I feel totally overwhelmed, can I start with just one? Can I start with just one thought that I can be with and say to myself, can I be with this? How can I be with this? Can I remember it like it's a child? It's part of me. And it's wanting to heal. No one wants to suffer like that. As much of it's criticizing, no one wants to suffer like that. So making some space to be okay with it and just be with it. Did you feel it in the meditation calm a little bit when you can just sit with it? Yes. You started building your ark. You started making it bigger. It's having a container for that space and doing that every day. So the container can be great because you can put things up in that ark because I'm at work and I can't deal with this new stuff people are talking about right now. But I'm going to make a promise to come back to that later and keep it going and process it and allow that little injured part of me to heal. If you want to go to the next slide, make it a little lighter. On a 40-day rainy cruise, Noah was forced to become a couples therapist. So this is just more thinking about, for every thought, there is an alter thought. It's like a polarization that happens in there. And you see what Noah's doing, right? He's sitting there. He's got the bears in counseling. So we're going to come back to those thoughts. We're not going to let them fester. Otherwise, they become a container that we stack in the garage of our soul. And we stack other things along with that container in our soul, and then they just fester there. And they might be out of sight, but heck, this container is our mind. It's not out of mind. And it comes back up. So instead, we become like a couples therapist for our thoughts. And we allow all things to come out into that space, and we try to just be with it compassionately. Can you just be with it? Just start there. That starts the healing. Go on to the next slide. Then we have compassion. So we're going to show it a little bit of compassion. And lately I've been using this. So even the skunks and the snakes and the mosquitoes and the hyenas, they all got a ride, right? They all got a ride, all of our thoughts. They all, one of every one, maybe not every single one to the point that they were overwhelming. But being with it and being compassionate with it, so you've got the calmness so that you can be with it. You can have clarity around, what is this thought? This thought is not me. It's just a part. It's not the truth of who I am. It's just a part that's hurt. And I can help it when I have that separation. And now I can look at that part of me and I can behold the Christ in it. And I can behold the Christ in every single person out there that I'm thinking might be the problem, especially when I can't get calmness over it. So this is a great little thing to do. It comes from a poem by Frank B. Whitney, who was a poet in Unity a long time ago. I love some of his wedding poems. I actually always use in my wedding services. This is the first stanza. So I want you to think really quickly just about a part in you that you know is carrying or hurt. It's a critic. Maybe it's the critic we brought up, saying that you should. Maybe it's something else, like I shouldn't listen to the news. I shouldn't go down that rabbit hole. I should, whatever it is. And tell it this: I behold the Christ in you. Here the life of God I see. I can see a great peace too. I can see you whole and free. Because no person wants to be stuck in that. What about to the people that we're praying for in the national news? Whether it's some type of tragic event that's happening, maybe it's a political thing, maybe it's someone you stand completely opposed to. Because no one wants to be hurting, and all things want to heal. See them, see one right now. See someone that you have at least a slight amount, not a whole bunch. Maybe not a whole bunch, we're just in church. We're not at home on a practice. So think of someone you have a slight conflict with. Hold them in your mind and repeat in your mind after me: I behold the Christ in you. Here the life of God I see. I can see a great peace too. I can see you whole and free. And for the last thing, if you really got some guts and you really want to take this to the next level, this is what you do. I don't know if you can see this. To those parts that are hurting within you, that are criticizing you, that are telling you. Lately, mine have been telling me a lot of stuff about my health conditions. How I'm supposed to fix it, how it's my fault for my thinking. And I have parts that are really like, hate this, I hate you, stop talking. Just shut up. I mean, like in my head, it's like, shut up, stop that negativity, stop that. And then try to say those things to this. So I took a picture of me and I look. I behold the Christ in you. Here the life of God I see. I can see a great peace too. I can see you whole and free. So if you really want to do this, get a picture of you. I used MyHeritage as a free AI site that's in genealogy, and I redid this picture. It was kind of fuzzy and from the 70s, one of those 70s pictures that are like the rounded edges, the little square ones. And I had MyHeritage with the AI run and get rid of all that film so that I could see my eyes. And let that be your 5 minutes. Let that build your arc so that you have the calmness. You have the clarity of knowing that that inner guidance is in you every minute, that you can see clearly the parts of you that aren't your authentic self. And you can go to them with compassion. You can see things in the world that are not yours to do, but yours to send love to. And you can hold a bigger, more expansive, loving space for our world and for yourself. Build your arc, and it will come. And in closing reflection, a couple other things to remember is that if you're spiritually aligned, even the wildest things will come to your arc. So plan on it and float a while, but don't drift. Send out a dove. Remember, Noah sent out a dove, and peaceful thoughts will guide you. If the dove returns empty, it's not a failure. It's just feedback. Build your arc. Thank you, everyone. All right. We have, the affirmation for the week. Fear and negativity are not my truth. I create space within for calm, clarity, and compassion. Let's do that one more time. Fear and negativity are not my truth. I create space within for calm, clarity, and compassion. Remember, all animals are welcome. All your thoughts are welcome. Be compassionate with you. Our chaplain today is Kathy Mountain, and she's available for private prayer in the prayer room right after service, and then we'll take the offering. So if you want to take your love offering in your hands and say our prayer. Divine love, expressed through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I have faith in God as my instant, constant, and abundant supply. Thank you, God.